Hi, my name is Kevin Keane. I'm the chair of Vincent's Basketball Club this year. Took over at the start of this season, but I've been involved in the club since I was about this tall, which you can't see because I'm sitting down, but that's a long time ago for me. Playing since I was about 12 on our Division 2 team this year. And apologies for the hoarse voice, we're just off a big win against UCD in the National Cup quarterfinals. We're one of the oldest clubs in the country. We've been around since 1962, in this gym here since the 70s. And we've been in Superleague all that time. We're a club with huge history that over the last, maybe 10 years or so has kind of fallen away from that history a little bit. And we've slipped down kind of the standings over the years. This year we've really made a huge effort to kind of climb back and reclaim our spot towards the top of the Superleague and really compete for all those titles. And you can see that now, like going down to Cork in the 7th for the Cup semi-final is going to be a huge weekend. It's the first time we've been there in more than 10 years. And that's a real testament, to obviously the lads on the court, but also just huge unseen volunteer hours from people running tuck shops to putting away bleachers at the end of games to coming down here coaching at 9 o'clock in the morning and then coming back at 4 to coach another team and just going way above and beyond. And that's really obviously what it takes to get here. But I think the community spirit that the club has now is something really special. Like, you come to a game here now and it's packed out every week. There's people screaming and shouting, there's incredible crack, like there's kids from 8 years old to lads who haven't played for the club for 40 years, like people are really kind of flocking to the club now and it's a really exciting time to be here.
Hi, my name is Donovan Fields. I'm from Newburgh, New York, a small city about an hour north of New York City. I attended Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo in California, San Luis Obispo, California. We're a Division I NCAA school. My first year professionally was last year. Prior to COVID, didn't really play anywhere, didn't get any opportunity, so my first opportunity to play professionally was in the 2nd division in Bosnia. Wasn't quite the experience I expected, but it helped me grow and it helped me understand what life would be like as an overseas basketball player. Now I'm in Dublin, completely different experience than what I had last year, especially when it comes to the amount of people in the club and the interactions that I have. Being here at Vincent's has been great. We have a larger fan base. We have an actual program where we got kids and other teams going in and out through the gym. So we see a lot of new faces pretty much every day. And I also get familiar with some people that are involved with the club.
Hey, it's Robbie Graham. I played with the Chestire Phoenix before I moved over to St. Vincent. Joshko, the head coach, he was my national assistant coach for the under-20s in Ireland when we went to Georgia. I was looking for a team because I wasn't getting many minutes in Chestire Phoenix. It was messing with my mental health a little bit. I really wanted to play. I was talking to Paulie Fleming, got this club, and they really wanted me to come, and it was just a great fit for me.
We're asking people to come to a gym at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night in the middle of Dublin. The city centre is a 10-minute walk from here. Some clubs, they're kind of the only show in town. With us, we got to really compete. It's not enough to just come watch basketball. It needs to be entertainment. It needs to be something where you come for 3 hours and you say, Jesus, that was incredible. And you want to be leaving hoarse. You want to be leaving with your spine tingling. You're really this is entertainment. And we're trying to, some of the Cork teams have really led the way on this over the last few years, and I think the league is starting to catch up with that, and we're trying to kind of be creative ourselves as well and kind of recreate that energy of the 80s in basketball in Ireland, where people said, geez, there's a game on in a week, let's go. It's not enough. You can't just be dragging people to games. People have to want to be here, and if to get them excited to be here, it has to be a whole product. It has to be real exciting from start to finish, and we're trying to create that. And I mean, the team that we've built, with Donovan at the point, Gio, Steph, Martin, Charlie, all the guys, and the whole bench, they play a really exciting, electrifying brand of basketball, and a brand of basketball that can win, but is also really electrifying. There's very little more exciting happening in Dublin on a Saturday night than Donovan cutting through the lane, alleying it up to Gio and him slamming it down. It's tough to beat that. The lads in the RDS playing rugby this weekend can't do that. Whereas our guys can do that. It's a special thing that we have that no one else can replicate, and we're really just trying to give that a platform and trying to get people down here to show it off.
What is the Superleague like in comparison to the BBL? Can you make a comparison at all?
I feel like the money is a big thing. I did it in a St. Vincent Instagram takeover. The stadiums are a lot smaller in my opinion, but I feel like if there was more money, the fans are definitely there for it.
Here in Dublin has definitely been great. I don't necessarily like to compare the two, only because like there's certain things that I just learned being in Bosnia that like I can't even quantify. But being here in Dublin has definitely been a great new experience, and you know, there's nothing that I can complain about. You know, I'm just happy to be doing what I love, and that's to be playing basketball and to be playing professionally. Like that was my dream coming out of college, or a goal that I had for myself, and you know, just living the dream and just taking it day by day and making sure that I'm ready to perform.
I mean, Bright has just been incredible for us. You know, I mean, like obviously the volunteer hours and the work that's gone on behind the scenes is incredible, and that is the motor that's driving the thing along. But like, there's no question that Bright support is the fuel that's driving the engine. You know, like Bright have been incredibly supportive of us last year as well. They came on board last year for the first time, and we struggled last year. And they stuck with us, and they've been great partners with us. Like they're really trying to be creative in the way that we do things and promote the club and promote them, and yeah, they've been a great partner. So they've made a huge difference for us. And then of course as well, we were very lucky to get the support of the Capital Grant last year, and that's allowed us to just totally redevelop our complex. So we've gone now from a drafty old gym which hadn't really been improved since the 70s. And now we've got more than 100 metres squared of high performance gym that's exclusively ours. We're launching our underage academy in there on tomorrow evening. We've got shooting alleys, we've got new dressing rooms. Like we've really taken the effort to step into the 21st century and try and push the game forward in North Dublin, and we're really trying to become a focal point for basketball really across all of Dublin, but very much particularly in Glasnevin, Phibsborough, Ballymun, like across all our catchment areas, and really become the place where people kind of come to when they think basketball. They think Vincent's in North Dublin, you know, and that takes huge work, and Bright have seen that vision, and they really want to be partners with us on it, and it's been great to have them.
I like the one American rule, but I feel like if you want to really bring the sport even more, you need to bring more attractive players. Like I know the Jordan Blunt thing coming over to Neptune, that was like a massive thing for like the league that I saw. So like more things like that, like you want to have more big names coming over to where normal fans will want to come watch the game.
One thing that I definitely can say, I mean, I hear a lot of it from, you know, Irish players that are already in the league, is about, you know, the Category 1 and Category 2 players, and letting there be two Category 2 players to play at once. For example, if you have, you know, 2 Americans or 2 imports that are not necessarily from Europe, from whatever country outside of Europe, like, I feel like they should be able to play on the court at the same time. I understand the rules are in place for certain things that obviously were before I got here, but you know, that's been the common theme that I've heard, is just like if teams were to have 2 or 3 Americans, like most other leagues, like when I played in Bosnia, like we had 3 Americans and all 3 of us could be on the court at the same time. And there were other teams that didn't have any Americans or any imports, and they were all the local domestic players. It wasn't like as big of an advantage. You know, some people recruit different ways, or they like to find different players from certain parts of the world. That should be up to them whether or not they want to do that, and they shouldn't be limited to whether or not they can play certain guys, or you know, guys might not want to come to Ireland because they might know, like, okay, there might be another Category 2 player here if they really know their stuff about Ireland, because I didn't know until I got here. But you know, that could potentially hurt somebody's, you know, stats, numbers, and especially being an American and you're playing in Europe, that's one thing that's really, really important. You know, of course, is first and foremost is to win, but you know, your stats is like part of your resume. So when you're having to share minutes with another guy, not to say the guy isn't as capable as you, but that could necessarily hurt somebody's career. And it might particularly make people not want to come play in Ireland, being that they have this rule in place.
Money like attracts the players, so like obviously in the BBL they'll be able to have like 10 professional players, whereas here you'll probably only be able to have 3 or 5. Whereas the BBL, like obviously they have the Sky now like funding into it. They have a new franchise, 777, like pumping money into the club. Especially London, they've taken over London. They're like, you know, doing really well in Europe now. Whereas here, if Basketball Ireland really pumped money into it, I feel like it could catch up really quickly.
What's your best or your favourite part about playing in Ireland Superleague?
The fans, for sure. Especially coming from last year, wasn't a lot of fans at the games, so just the fans and the atmosphere that's been here in Vincent's and even other gyms that we played at, like it's just been amazing.
What's the biggest threat or challenge to basketball clubs in Ireland at the moment?
Good question. I think basketball is really on the upswing at the moment. I think the challenge that we have now is capitalising on that and making it not just a little arc, a little blip on a graph. Like, this needs to be the beginning of a real revolution in basketball, where, you know, the quality of our sports complex is improved through support from the state and from Basketball Ireland. It needs to be, you know, that we start moving towards professional camera people at games. It needs to be that we start, you know, being creative in how we share our content with each other and being aware of the importance of social media and just developing infrastructure around the teams, because there's so many people doing fantastic work, and it'll be a flash in the pan if it's not captured and institutionalised and driven forward by the state and by Basketball Ireland. So we really need that support. And in fairness to Basketball Ireland, you know, the things they've done in the last couple of years have been really positive in that regard. There's a lot that's going on now, and that's really exciting too. And having the national team back in men's and women's ball is fantastic. It's just about capitalising on where we are now, because like, the thing is unbeatably exciting. Like, it's just incredible. Like, come to a game and you will come back, but it's taking advantage of that and moving on. So yeah, it's an exciting time, and it's a time that we need to capitalise on.